What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Conor McGregor will not be boxing Logan Paul if one UFC icon is to be believed. McGregor turned some heads within the MMA community after claiming he agreed to an exhibition boxing match with the WWE superstar. It was also said that the bout would take place in India, courtesy of the wealthy Ambani family. Ariel Helwani then took to his weekly show to say that while nothing is set in stone, there is at least smoke to the fire. While McGregor insists the boxing match will happen, one former UFC title challenger believes it's all a ruse. Not a single word is true. You've got to understand, Conor is not boxing Logan Paul. There is not a billionaire in India looking to bring people over and change tourism. That is something exclusively done by a government, and that government has done it in one place, which is in the Middle East. And third, there's no check for $250 million, so he kind of went right down the list of joking. He's kidding. You're not supposed to believe any of that to be true. Near the end of 2024, UFC CEO Dana White told reporters that he has something planned that would send fans and experts into a frenzy if it comes to fruition. Some have speculated that White was talking about McGregor versus Paul, but that hasn't been confirmed or denied at this time. Garry offers to serve as backup fighter for Belal Muhammad versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Machado Garry is one of the most exciting welterweight fighters in the world. We all know that to be true, even if some people are still in a bit of denial. He has an incredible amount of potential, and in his last outing against Shavkat Rakhmonov, he pushed his former training partner to the limit, before ultimately coming up short on the scorecards. In a recent interview, Machado Garry made it known that he'd be ready and willing to take on a replacement role if called upon. I know in my heart and my soul, and I see the fans are giving me a lot of love and a lot of respect for that fight. I'm absolutely, in my mind, the number 2 contender in the world. So could I see the UFC booking me as a replacement? Yes. Do I think it's realistic? Potentially. However, we'll see when the cards come. If they want that, if they need that. I will say one thing. I will be ready if they want me, like I always am. Ready, prepared for anyone and anywhere. Eddie Alvarez doesn't think Michael Chandler has lived up to his potential in the UFC. Having gone to war with Chandler twice during their title fights in Bellator, Alvarez knows how good Chandler is. Alvarez was able to realize gold when he signed with the UFC, however Chandler has fallen short in his pursuit. Alvarez can't understand why Chandler doesn't utilize his full skill set when competing in the octagon. If you ask him, he's underperformed. He'll know the reason for that or whatever the reasons are, but for sure I think he has all the tools to win the UFC title. It's a matter of whether he uses the tools he has, and I don't think he has properly, and I don't know why. It's very frustrating for me to watch because I know what he's capable of, and what kind of grit and champion spirit he has. I think it's frustrating for a lot of people who are fans of him, who want him to win because he can. He just doesn't use the stuff that God's given to him. He doesn't use his wrestling at all, and it's very dominant. He's a very strong guy. Chael Sonnen believes that 2025 will mark the final year in the historic career of Jon Jones. Jones is widely regarded as the most dominant fighter throughout MMA history. His lone defeat has been heavily debated, as it was a disqualification loss to Matt Hamill back in 2009. Jones has reigned as both the light heavyweight and heavyweight champion, and many are wondering when the 37-year-old legend will call it a career. Sonnen thinks it will happen this year. If you wanted my boldest prediction of 2025, I'm actually very confident in the prediction, and that is that Jon Jones retires. I will tell you that Jon Jones is going to fight Tom Aspinall. I will tell you Jon's going to do a lot better with Tom than some people are giving him credit for. But that's tomorrow's discussion. When that fight is done, win or lose, I do believe it will be Jon's final appearance. While Jones has shown more interest in a clash with UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, he has said he'd be willing to fight Aspinall if the money is right. It's the fight that fans and experts have clamored for, given that Jones holds heavyweight gold, while Aspinall is an interim title holder.